Thank you very much, Peter, and good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for your time today. First and foremost, I'd like to say that I've represented the organisation in a number of capacities over many years, coming up to about 40 years in different capacities, and I consider this to be an absolute honour and a privilege to be able to represent the club as the chairman. In doing so, I'd still like to acknowledge the inaugural chairman, Doug McClellan, as a mate and also as a previous chairman. Our relationship goes back to the mid-80s, where he was High Commissioner in the UK and I was a buff-headed footballer travelling, backpacking through the UK, and he allowed me to stay at his premises in Stoke Lodge on Hyde Park. So it was really like feeding strawberries to pigs, me staying with Doug, but it was a relationship that was forged and has developed ever since. So I'm very close to Doug. He still remains a mentor as well as a great friend. More recently, I'd like to acknowledge Warren Lockwood, the previous chairman, who was here for 17 years, and in particular take away from him his calmness, his leadership, some of his leadership qualities, and apply them as I apply some of my own style as we go forward. As chairman, I think it's imperative that you do have a vision for the organisation, and like every other chairman in the NRL, my vision is for on-field success. How that's measured is in many different ways, and obviously looking at the competition table is a major influence. We all want to be bigger, stronger, better every particular year, but as we know, rugby league on the field, that performance is cyclical. So really a lot of my vision involves around the commercial sustainability of the financial model of the club. Independent of performance, not easy to do, it'd be very, very complicated. In doing so, it'd be nice to be able to relieve leagues clubs of some of the contributions that they make over a period of time, so that they can focus on perhaps some of the junior league and the charities within their organisations. The Leagues Club here is travelling very well. We announced a significant profit last year, and the football club is also financially very sound as well. So if I move on to my role and how I see the chairman operating within an organisation such as the football club, I see my level as strategic as opposed to operational or transactional. Mary doesn't come into a lot of board meetings, although he's got the full support of the board, whatever that may mean, from time to time, but I don't see entering down into a lot of the operational transactional areas as my job. What do I need to do? I need to look at the next 4-year planning period and ensure that we have a strategic plan that meets the need of the day and the finances that will be coming into the future. As we know, a lot of traditional businesses are stressed at the moment due to low growth economy, low single digit growth, 3-4% is acceptable. Everybody wants double digit growth. Probably not going to happen in this economy in the next couple of years. Other areas that are very similar, or look at the trends in the economic world, we're looking at disruption, Airbnb, Uber, what does that do to traditional businesses? And we also look at digitisation, what does that mean? What does that mean for all of us here going forward, particularly from a media perspective, as our next rights contract is significantly funded by free-to-air TV. In saying that, we are, as an organisation, looking at best practice and trying to, as I say, make sure we've got a sustainable financial model, a commercial model going forward. So we do look at our governance and what we're doing in respect to governance. So we are talking to Win Corporation, and we have been talking to Win Corporation for a number of years. It's important that we get the right partner at the right time. Win Corporation are in the, obviously, regional TV business, which is under a lot of scrutiny and a lot of pressure at the present time, and we're not in a position to rush them into making any decisions, but we have received additional inquiries as well, or Peter has at least. So it's important for us that we make the right decision for the organisation going forward to ensure that financial sustainability. Currently, our club is trading, our football club, St George Illawarra, is trading very well. Sponsorship, we've got longer term sponsors that are still with us. Our financial position is sound. Our membership is growing. We're spending and investing more in digital and communication. But in saying that, team performance is one of the critical factors at the moment in driving revenues, or in assisting in driving revenues. And if we look at the history of St George Illawarra and going back through St George, we've had a number of probably the most successful coaches in the history of the game represent this organisation. If we go back to Norm Provan, we look at Jack Gibson. More recently, we look at Wayne Bennett. No pressure, Mary. You know, that we're looking at going forward and announcing a fellow that's had a long history, tradition in rugby league, and in particular with St George Illawarra. Mary played, I think, 157 games for the organisation. He's coached for 76 games for the organisation. Apologies for that. And he's a man that commands respect, expects, you know, honesty, a lot of diligence, a lot of hard work, and in particular he has a presence about him. He's played the game, he knows the game. Above all, he's shown the ability under pressure to be able to change and change for the right reasons. He's coachable, which he expects of his players as well. So folks, I won't talk for any longer, but I would like to welcome Mary along for the next 2 years and announce that our coach for the next 2 years for the St George Illawarra Dragons is Paul McGregor. Congratulations, Mary. Well done.
Thanks, guys.